Hi everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit about act and rule utilitarianism. One of the main things that I want you to understand about the two theories and the differences between them is that act utilitarianism looks at each specific act or case, whereas rule utilitarianism tries to come up with a general rule that will apply for every case. I think that you can see that act utilitarianism offers a bit more flexibility, but that the problem that creates is that for each individual case, we would need to come up with a particular rule or way of evaluating that case. There are definitely pros and cons for both, and you're going to see that no theory that we discuss in this class gives a 100% way to solve any problem. Act and rule utilitarianism is usually used in policymaking and in solving problems. For example, if you were to take an act of terrorism, you would apply act and rule utilitarianism in this case to determine whether or not it was okay to torture a terrorist to get additional information. Obviously, there would be some pros and cons to that. Some people will find it acceptable, whereas other people would not, and they would both offer justifications. So act and rule utilitarianism principles are most often used when trying to decide in a moral dilemma. A moral dilemma is a situation in which there may be human rights issues on both sides of the coin that are going to lead to negative consequences either way. World War II is another really good example of a moral dilemma, and it was heavily debated whether or not to drop the bomb, and initially we had to determine what would provide the greatest good in that circumstance. So what's important to think about when looking at consequentialist ethics, utilitarian ethics, is the majority and what's going to be good for the majority will win out over what's going to be good for the minority. Obviously, that poses some problems for the minority, and that's a heavy criticism of utilitarian theories in general. So I just wanted to give you a little bit more to help you understand some of the similarities, differences, and concepts on utilitarian thinking. And please feel free to email me if you have any questions.